Hi everyone, welcome to Freedom Friday. I'm doing a little dance. So it's raining, it's like a really nice spring rain going on outside. I hope you guys can hear it in the background because it's pretty peaceful. So today I want to talk about knowing your purpose and which path to follow. I think that it's a question that we all ask ourselves. What is my purpose here? And which path am I supposed to take? And who am I supposed to listen to? And there's all these different voices in our heads, and which voice is the right one? And it gets a little confusing. I have been extremely blessed to have a deep passion and a deep knowing. Sometimes it's been super deep inside of me, so deep that I don't even know it exists, but I've always had this deep passion to want to be a singer and a songwriter and a performer, and I've always had this deep passion to want to help people. There have been many times when I have steered completely wrong. And I think that that's how I was able to find out all about my intuition and that little voice, the one I'm supposed to be listening to. So, I want to talk about my most favorite thing in the whole wide world, and that is inspiration. Now, I want to touch on religion really quickly, and not any specific religion, just the concept of religion. You see, my opinion about religion is that I truly believe that religion should be for the individual, because a religion is a belief system, and I believe that we all need to connect with our source, whether you call it God, whether you call it your inner guide, just that spiritual place that is within all of us. I think that each of us have our own way of looking at that and have our own way of calling that something. And that's why I believe that religion should be for the individual. And I believe that you have to have that in order to know your purpose and in order to follow the right path for you. Now, we have that voice inside of us, and it's the societal voice that says, you know, success is supposed to look like this and supposed to, you're supposed to have, 1.5 children and a white picket fence, or whatever you believe that success, what is the definition of success for you. So we can have those voices in our heads, but what happens is, and what I've learned, is that when you get there to that thing that we think is going to bring us success and happiness and purpose, we realize that we're really unfulfilled when we get there. And that's because we didn't listen to that inspiration. And it's really about trusting that inspiration. For me, I'm going to describe what inspiration feels like to me. And I'll give an example. For the last 6 months, I've been in a relationship. And I have been absolutely head over heels. I've learned so much from this man. I have had to open myself up and trust love. When he was really, the whole entire relationship really mirrored back to me all of my fears. And it gave me a huge opportunity to grow and to be able to love more and love deeper. But all along, I had this little whisper inside of me, the same whisper that I've had my entire life. And it's like this little thing off in the distance that says, you haven't done a show lately. And it comes just like that. you haven't done a show lately. And I go, I know, but I'm busy, I don't really talk to myself like that, but that's basically what I'm doing. And then that little voice comes again and goes, hey, you haven't written a song lately. You haven't really paid much attention to me. There was a time when you loved me and you haven't paid attention. So there's that little whisper. And all this time in these 6 months I haven't been listening. Not that I haven't been listening to it. I've been saying, I know you're there, but I got some other things I got to do. And then things started going wrong, right? Like everything in my life was just going wrong. And I wasn't being, I've talked about this, I think, last week. I wasn't attached to it, and I'm completely fine, and I really learned a lot from that. And I believe that everything that happens has its place, and it's all has its purpose. But I knew that I wasn't going the right way. And I knew the whole time, this isn't a path I'm meant to be on. But I'm going to travel down it a little bit until I get to the dead end, because there's a whole lot of knowledge that I can acquire, and then I'm going to head back to the path I'm supposed to be on. Now, this is where the inspiration comes in. We broke up maybe a week ago. And for the last few days, I have gotten back into my music and my business and the things that really are extremely important to me, because they've been a calling within me my entire life. And I'm going to tell you how inspiration, and when you know what you're doing, you know you're on the right path, is when I sit down in front of my computer and I start working at 9 a.m. and I don't get up from that computer until 10:30 p.m. And I've been on it the entire day, working and creating and following inspiration, and each new idea I go, oh, and I write it down, and I'm just filled with this amazing inspiration. And it gets to the point where it just fills me up. I get this idea and I go, oh, and it's like an aha, and I feel excited and fueled. That's where you know that what you're doing is what you're meant to be doing. That's where you know that you're on the right path, is when you take a road that either it just flows perfectly and you're not even trying to do anything. You know you have nothing to do with, the divine energy is just making this happen, and you feel good about it. You're just doing it because you love doing it. Or you get this undeniable burst of energy, so fueled by passion that it literally, when your body starts to get tired, it doesn't. You are just literally running on pure inspiration. Yesterday I said, not that I would recommend this, but yesterday, and I'm drinking a cup of tea right now, yesterday I sat at my computer at 9 a.m. I drank probably 4 or 5 cups of tea, and I didn't even eat anything until 7 o'clock at night when I ordered a pizza, because I didn't make dinner either. And it is an insane way to work, I agree. But when you are that fueled by passion, you're alive. You feel alive when you do something like this. And I was able to get so much done. And I wrote a blog yesterday that was for my readers. I felt so unbelievably inspired to write this blog, because I had this moment yesterday where I was just opened up, and I understood the world and God a little bit better. And it was an amazing aha moment, and I shared that in a blog yesterday. If you go to darrieawaken.com, you can read that. I posted it yesterday. And it's just an amazing place to be. Now, inspiration, if you don't already know this, if you haven't read all the books that I've read, inspiration actually comes from the meaning in spirit. It's actually what that means. So that fuel, that passion, it literally is you living from your spirit. And that is what is driving you. That for me is why I'm able to get on these videos every single week and have something to talk about. That's why there is never a time, unless my phone stops working, where I have to re-record these. I think one time where I had to re-record it because my phone stopped working, but I just talk. I run completely on inspiration and inspiration only. And it's because I have developed my own personal relationship with my spirit and with that inspiration, and I trust it. When I write a song, if only a line comes to me, one line comes to me. I don't start writing a song to try to make it the best song anyone's ever heard. I just get a line that comes to me, and I start humming a melody. And it's just a very natural state of being. Which leads me into, you see how perfectly, even my spirit gives me these perfect segues. This leads me into your purpose. I'm going to give you this deep, dark, mysterious secret that nobody knows about what your purpose is. And I guarantee you that this is your purpose on this earth. Just as this is my purpose on this earth. And everyone else watching. Your purpose on this earth is to be exactly who you are. That's it. Now, your mission in life is to find what or who that actually is. And the only way to find the truth of that is to go within to develop an individualized religion. Individualized, okay? That spirituality, that part of you, find that part of you that is the only thing that never changes. When you find that part of you that is the only thing that never changes, you have found the truth within yourself. And when you live in accordance with that truth, you are living on your path an inspired life and living your purpose. So that is the answer. I know I make it seem really easy. I know that I'm naturally a very passionate person, and I always have been. But, and you may say, this is easy for me because I've always known, but I was always very fearful. And I still have some moments, depending on who I'm with, where I have a little bit of, I guess it's fear, a little bit of fear with being my true self, fear of being judged. And that's because there's still a part of myself that judges myself, that believes that I can't be the fullest expression of myself. And every day I work on that, being that fullest expression of myself. It's one of the reasons why I started doing YouTube videos as a singer, because I was afraid to do it in front of other people. Because I was afraid to be the fullest expression of myself. And even when I was in front of other people, I was afraid to emote a little bit too much or get really far into the song. I was afraid to make funny faces. And little by little, through practice, I learned to come deeper and deeper into my spirit. And I am so much more of a fuller expression of who I truly am than I was ever. I mean, unless when I was a very small child, I remember being very connected. And then I lost that. So that is how you know your purpose, because I just told you what it is, to just be yourself. And that is how you follow the right path. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on today's Freedom Friday. And if you have any questions, I know that this is a really big subject, and I know that it's not something that I can give all the answers to in a 15-minute video, but I hope that it helped you, and I encourage you, if you haven't already, to sign up for these, to get these Freedom Friday videos free in your inbox every single week, as well as some amazing new things that I have coming up on DariAwaken.com, such as a webinar, which is going to be a huge, probably a 7-week e-course sort of webinar, where I will teach you how to manifest from your soul, and it's going to be really amazing. It's another inspiring idea that came into my head 2 days ago, and I'm working my butt off to develop it, which is why I was on the computer for almost 12 hours yesterday, and I'm so excited to bring that to you. So yeah, sign up for the mailing list on DariAwakened.com, and you'll get all that information right in your inbox. Thank you guys so much, and happy Freedom Friday.